here it means business.
It's the first time in New York City for David Paz. He owns a boxing gym back home in Buenos Aires, Argentina. He coaches a team of amateur fighters and, of course, fights professionally himself. But he saw videos on Ahmad-Aliyev. He thinks he could put up a good fight. Paz, 4-4-1 as a professional. And understandable that for a guy with the Olympic pedigree of Murodzon, you'd put him in there with a guy with a little more professional experience than you would another prospect. Well, let's take a look at Murojaan Ahmad-Aliyev, the former Olympic bronze medalist. Let's get to know the man we know as MJ. And here is Murojaan Ahmad-Aliyev. He likes to be called MJ. There are other famous sporting MJs, but maybe he can live up to that reputation at some point down the line.
Well, he's definitely going to have to be considered the greatest of all time, you know. But hey, you got to love coming out with a little flair, right?
The bronze medalist in Rio in the bantamweight division in 2016. He has that flair around his neck. Can he add some professional gold around his waist? That journey starts now. Let's send it up to our ring announcer, Mr. David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the King's Theater here in Brooklyn, New York, we are set to go with our next bout of the evening, and it's all being brought to you courtesy of Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Sports and Entertainment in association with World of Boxing, MIC Group, New Legend Boxing, and Fists of Legend. Sponsored by Medical Arts Radiology, Venom, Nissan of Queens, Guantanamera Cuban Restaurant in Forest Hills, and Diamante's Brooklyn Cigar Lounge. Your three judges scoring this contest from ringside: John McKay, Waleska Rodan, and Robin Taylor. At the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring, Eric Daly. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the junior lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he wears the blue, black, and silver. He weighed in at 129 pounds. His professional record, 4 victories against 4 defeats. He has 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, presentando de La Plata, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Please welcome David El Chaqueño Michel Paz. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He wears red with white trim. He's scaled at a ready 128.5 pounds. Tonight, he makes his professional debut. Ladies and gentlemen, this 250 amateur fight veteran hails from Namangan, Uzbekistan. Introducing the 2016 Olympic bronze medalist, Murojaan MJ Ahmad-Aliyev. Ahmad-Aliyev.
All right, gentlemen, you already know the rules. I want to remind you to keep it clean, protect yourself at all times, and obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
So it's time for the Olympic bronze medalist to make his pro debut. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape.
Yeah, we don't have that much of an age difference here, only 1 year, 1 inch difference in height, and really 0.4 in difference in weight. Should be a good fight here. We got some youthful experience versus some old professional experience, so let's see what prevails here tonight.
Round 1, Ahmad-Aliyev in the red trunks, going right after David Paz.
Connected with some good opening punches, overhand right, little hook. One thing about MJ, he likes to stay right in front of his fighter and smother him, you know. Makes you waste a lot of energy just trying to shake and get out of that.
Well, even though styles make fights and every fight is different, you know that fighters compare their performances with one another, and you know that MJ wants to do better against David Paz, wants to get him out of there faster than Shakur Stevenson, who wasn't able to stop him.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a little read in between the lines there. Paz was able to go all around, so, but he did get dropped. MJ's definitely not letting Paz set up, which is a good thing.
And down goes Paz immediately. A delayed reaction, likely from that left hand to the body in the corner. And Paz might not make it to his feet. Less than a minute is all it took. Muraján Ahmadali makes a statement.
That was impressive. That was very impressive. I'd like to take a look at that punch again.
That is your quintessential delayed reaction body shot. Boy, it looks like World of Boxing has another tremendous fighter on their hands right now. You look at that stable, Dmitry Bivol, a light heavyweight champion. They've managed Alexander Povetkin, former heavyweight champion. Same management team as Ruslan Provodnikov. Looks like they might have another world champion on their hands. I know it's a little early, but he was a spectacular amateur.
Well, that's a great way to make a statement coming out in your debut against a seasoned fighter like that, you know? Let's see that body shot again. Yeah, and you can see him leaning over. That one definitely hurt him. There's a legit body shot going there right by the ribs. Great work by MJ. Definitely has a lot of reason to be celebrating right now. That was an awesome job. Tremendous fashion he finished in.
It's going to take longer for MJ to get his gloves off than it did for him to actually knock out David Paz here.
Yeah. Paz is up, looks to be walking around.
Well, it didn't take long, but it was spectacular. Let's make it official. Let's send it up to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Eric Daly calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute and 8 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by knockout, Mourodjon MJ Ahmadaaliyev.
So Mouroджон Ahmadaaliyev,
Very
first round
fight.
knockout. You know, we only saw, what, 58 seconds of him, but he looked like he's going to be a lot of fun to watch as his career progresses.
Yeah, he's a man on the mission. I mean, from the moment that he came out, he stayed right on top of Paz, and he was able to get him off balance and sneak in that body shot. And like I said, you stop the body, the head will follow.
Well, Mouroджон Ahmadaaliyev, very popular back home in Uzbekistan, alongside his stablemate, Shakram Giasov, who we're going to see in just a few minutes. We're going to get a look at a second Olympic medalist here on The Real Deal Boxing on CBS Sports. There he is, Shakram Giasov. He'll be taking on Nicholas Velasquez when we come back.